This is just here. We here to talk about loyalty in an aspect. I guess that's just what we're here to talk about at the moment. What's up? What's happening? This big K.A. We back in the stand. K2 Goody sleep with a cut it up a throne. You know the big dog on the ton. We here to talk about this shit real quick. Now. If you haven't been paying attention, and I'm not doing this every single day, shout out to Danny from the Stop, Chick Smooth, and others who do these reactions and talk about certain stuff that's going on in the Joe Budden community, Joe Budden network, whatever have you, whatever the hell we address yourselves as. But basically, as you do know, Julian recently got kicked off, whatever the fuck you want to say, off of the new Rory and Mal podcast. He started his own podcast, yada yada yada, has been doing numbers. Nigga wrote a poem about how he was doing so much, and nigga was moving like he was Peter Pan. Even though I fuck with Julian, but I gotta get my shit off. Nigga was moving like Peter Pan, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what the fuck I was going with that. But anyways, I thought he was doing so much. He was a hard worker. He was out here. He was for the grind. He was putting his nose down, head in the books. He was doing all his little things, but his hard work wasn't appreciated, and he got let go. Yada yada yada. Doing his little poetry shots at niggas or whatever have you. And basically, we thought that's what it was. It was cool, whatever. But now we've seen recently during the spaces, I don't know if it was Joe's spaces or whoever started the spaces, I guess Julian joined and he spoke with Joe and they were having conversations. Now, Imani was one of the people who did call him out. If you don't know Imani, he's mostly on the Patreon, but I guess you could say he's part of the Joe Budden Network. Accomplished singer. Does his thing, you know what I'm saying? And shout out Imani. But basically, he's like, hey, you was with them niggas. You know, he was keeping it a buck. You was with them niggas. You was doing your thing. Y'all was gang. You was speaking on Joe. You know, you had some choice words to the point there was a point in the interaction where I guess Julian was saying certain things about Joe on the podcast. He was making certain comments about him. When it's good, we all know Joe he doesn't have the best, like, I guess, image in social media or hip hop with the whole domestic violence allegations from women to this whole sleepwalking nude stuff, you know, all these other things, these abuser little comments or whatever have you. So again, he's not seen in the best of light in certain aspects. So I guess Julian did speak on certain aspects like that on the podcast, or he was joking or saying some dumb stuff to the point Joe posted some image in his like story or whatever with Julian looking cross-eyed and all that little shit or whatever have you, right? With that being said, by the way, these niggas have a behind the scenes thing for the Patreon, and we clearly see Joe laughing at this nigga's poem with Queen's Flip. Again, I don't know. And he mentioned it on this podcast, like every time I'm gonna mention poems, I'm not gonna get in my messy bag or whatever have you, right? So boom. Later on, this like little fucking spaces happens, and Julian's talking to Joe. Basically, Imani's keeping a book. He was with them niggas that was gang, and now just because they fired you, or maybe y'all left on some like not the best of terms. You was over there like a couple of weeks ago, y'all was gang. Like a week ago, y'all was being smooth. And now over here, you left them now or whatever have you. Now you over here saying and talking to Joe. It is what it is. Now, at some point, this just makes Joe look like a fucking mastermind. Like how the fuck he's getting these niggas to talk or whatever have you. Now, but with that being said, the fact Julian went over there to talk to Joe, even Julian's retort to Imani saying like, oh, you know, I'm not with them niggas anymore. It is what it is, blah, blah, blah. And because I was over there, I didn't want to ruffle feathers, so I didn't, like, try to speak to Joe. But now I'm not over there. It is what it is. He was talking his shit or whatever, right? And it's just crazy. So later on, I don't know if Danny at the stop, if it was, like, his spaces or Rory's spaces. Anyways, they were asking him about the Julian shit. Rory was like, nah, I don't fuck with that because you was over here doing whatever. We thought we was cool, whatever. We let you go. It was business shit. We thought it was cool, whatever have you. By the way, as Joe's still throwing shots at these niggas, it is what it is. Like, again, as a fan of the podcast, as much as, yeah, I like Ish, I like Mark Lamahill's like a fucking rookie of the year. Like, they doing their shit with the podcast, but I will say this. Like, regardless, bro, I remember being in college listening to when it was Joe, Rory, and Ma and Barks on the podcast. So it's like, I still got love for that collective together as a unit. Like, I don't give a fuck what beef y'all niggas got. That time when y'all niggas was together, y'all gave me some good episodes. I don't give a fuck how much Ish and Mel be fighting and the bitch box episode and all this other bullshit. Y'all niggas gave me some great times. I ain't gonna care. There was some great moments on that podcast. I go back and watch some of the old episodes sometimes. When y'all niggas was doing that Durex condoms bullshit, hilarious. I laughed. Yeah. I'm an idiot, big dog. But anyways, with that being said, I lose my train of thoughts. I go on tangents. Hey, if that's you, like and subscribe. Help your boy out, help your boy girl. But anyways, Rory was just like, yo, if you believe he was like this, you making jokes, you're saying, oh, he just done this with women or whatever have you, and Rory doesn't believe that. He's like, I wouldn't associate myself with a person if I believe that. So, but you're sitting there doing all this, making all these jokes, going against Joe, him even telling Julian to not do that, and now you're over there. Rory coming out saying, we never had that discussion that don't talk to Joe while you work here. He's never told him that, but yeah, I don't think it has to be said. You know, it's making Joe look like a fucking mastermind having a conversation with Julian ever since this whole breakup thing. And again, in a sense, it's kind of publicity for Julian because, again, he's launching a new podcast, whatever have you. And, of course, K.A.Vuitton, who still kind of works with the Joe Budden podcast, also has his own podcast, like The Need to Know. So that's also another thing, him being spoken about there as well. But also, just like, it's kind of like Joe's playing chess. Now, again, it could be budget cuts or whatever, and they had to choose who to keep. And maybe, like, what's the God? It was like, all right, Julian, it is what it is. And maybe he asked for more money and they couldn't do that. We don't 100% know, but it is what it is at the point. But Rory wasn't fucking with it. Ma had his certain perspectives on it as well. I just feel like certain shit was just misunderstood and maybe just a little bit of spite. And Julian was just like, yo, you know what, fuck it. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Hey, Joey, how's it going? You know what I'm saying? You want to talk a little bit? I got a little time. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe you was just curious about Joe. Hey, listen, regardless of what we say about Joe Budden, the nigga is entertaining. We could all say the nigga is very entertaining. But yeah, it's just one of those cases. It's just messy at this point. I could have spoke on it earlier, but other shit was going on. Just again, I am Drake and Kendricked out, but more shit keeps happening, and I'm like, well, I gotta talk about it at this point. But yeah, but hey, we'll see where this goes. Hopefully, this does help Julian in the long run, and his podcast could cultivate a proper following, and it could do well. Because like I said in the other video, I do like Julian, and I hope he does really well. But we'll see exactly what goes on with this little situation. But besides all that, that's really all I got to say about the topic. What do y'all think? Y'all think I'm missing some shit? Have I missed some spaces? Hey, I can't be checking that shit every day. Like I said, shout out Danny from the stop. He been doing this thing. He be following this shit more than me. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, comments down below, links in the description. Besides that, friendly neighborhood K.A. sign out for today. Black TJ there while I'm doing this thing. Now, my name ring bells like Quasimodo. Hit like, subscribe, trying to live bit more to hear me. I'm gone. Slimes on peace, y'all. Aye.